Happiness depends on our circumstances. In contrast to happiness stands joy. Running deeper and stronger, joy is the quiet, confident assurance of God's love and works in our lives, that He will be there no matter what. Happiness depends on happenings, but joy depends on Christ. Philippians, the book that we are beginning this week, is Paul's joy letter. It emphasizes the real joy of the Christian life, a letter written to the Philippians to thank them for the gift they had sent and to strengthen these believers by showing them that true joy comes from Christ. The concept of rejoicing or joy appears 16 times in 4 chapters, and the pages radiate this positive message. Rejoice in the Lord always, and again I say rejoice. On Monday, I asked it to find an introduction to the book of Philippians to read and follow with our devotion. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, we will read and concentrate on chapter 1 with Salt Shaker devotions written by Jeannie. Then Thursday and Friday will be devoted to chapter 2 with corresponding devotions written by Jane. The Philippians first heard the gospel about 10 years earlier when Paul and his companions visited Philippi during Paul's second missionary journey. Paul wrote in chapter 1, verse 21, "For to me to live is Christ." But he did more than just write that statement. He lived it. Jesus Christ is mentioned 18 times in the chapter and is seen involved in many aspects of Paul's life. Verses 1 through 11 pertain to his friends in Philippi. Verses 12 through 18 involves his life as a prisoner, not of Rome, but of Jesus Christ, and his chains were in Christ. Verses 19 through 26 reflect his future because Paul's life was in danger. But he believed when Christ is in your life, death is not your enemy. Verses 27 through 30 talked about his enemies, which he did not fear because of Christ within him. Philippians chapter 2 tells us that Christ is the model for Christian life and service because he thought first of others, not himself. We must look out for the betterment of others. Then, as we yield to the Lord, he works in us so that we can work out fulfilling the plan God has for us. And then finally, we must pour out our very life for the sake of the Lord, the church, and do it joyfully. I love the quote from F.B. Meyer that says, quote, "I used to think that God's gifts were on shelves, one above the other, and that the taller we grew in Christian character, the more easily we could reach them. I now find that Christ's gifts are on shelves, one beneath the other, and that it is not a question of growing taller, but of stooping lower." Please join us next week as we finish the book of Philippians. And don't forget, Biblical Shakers makes reading the Bible way more enjoyable for you. I pray the Lord will put a hunger on your heart.